Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first episode of the franchise. I'm your host, Nasty Noob. And tonight my co-hosts are Tazarelli
and your boy,
I am Ness.
What's up, guys?
How you doing tonight?
Doing good. How you doing, Kamish?
I'm hanging in there.
I guess
we are doing good.
I guess tonight's show we're gonna go through the upcoming draft for the
2017 off season. We're gonna break it down, focusing on the top 15 teams for this upcoming draft. We're gonna base our decisions and picks based off of needs and not wants. So I guess we'll take it from here, and we can also start off with the. One second. We can start off with the Miami Dolphins coming in at number one. They finished the season 30th in offense, 24th in defense. This past season they gave up 34 sacks and 34 INTs. So at this point, where do you think the Dolphins need to go in this upcoming draft with the first round pick?
I'll start it off. Me personally, I think that Ryan Tannehill, their starting quarterback, is a backup quarterback in the NFL. Hence by the 34 interceptions. They're a pretty solid team, but you're as good. You're going to go as far as your leadership, and I think that Tannehill is not the player that is going to take them to the next level. I personally think they should draft the quarterback and either maybe not as early as this first pick, but if he has a later first round pick or early second round pick. I think he's going to definitely need to tighten up that O-line a little bit more. He has some youth at the O-line, but he's going to need to tighten that up some more. And then from the games I saw him play, he was getting a lot of, everyone's getting a lot of drops. But his tight end Sims was a problem, and then Parker was a problem with drops. And those are, supposed to be two decent players at the positions. So I don't know if it's going to take more development of those players, or if he just needs to move on from them and, maybe draft somebody, a little younger, a little bit better at those positions. But his defense was pretty solid.
I totally agree. Him having the number one overall pick might be a smart move for him to move back and try to pick up some draft picks. But if he stays in the position, I would have to agree with Ness and go with a quarterback in this position. Because Tannehill will not lead you to the promised land.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see come Saturday exactly where he decides to go. So number two. The number two drafting in the number two slot are the Buffalo Bills.
And I'm going to start off again with the Buffalo Bills. So it's going to be a big difference between what they need, which we see at 30th in defensive ranking, middle ground with 15th in offensive ranking. Me personally, I think that he needs to definitely tighten up that secondary. As you know, he traded away Stephon Gilmore this past season to my Eagles for a first round pick. But will he draft secondary? It remains to be seen, but I definitely think he needs to work on that secondary and also find himself at least a number 2 receiver, because right now he has like number 3 and 4 slot receivers out there catching balls for Tyrod, who just re-signed a big contract, so he needs to remember that too, penalty-wise. Definitely. I know he was complaining about not having a number 1 receiver. Man, yeah, we know how he does. So it's really hard to say what he's gonna do. And he has 3 first-round picks this draft, which that always amazes me how he accumulates those first-round picks. But I think he probably will go with a quarterback. But again, he's another team that probably needs to look at that offensive line and address that. Tyrod is good. He can do good things with him if he develops him and just gives him the protection that he needs. So it's gonna be interesting to see what he does.
That's very true. If I was in this slot and I was the Bills, I would be looking at defense. Finishing 30th in defense in this league is not going to win you a championship. Like you guys said, I think Tyrod is a serviceable quarterback that can get you at least 4 or 5 more good seasons. But not having that quality quarterback on the defense at the middle linebacker position could cause you a lot of games and cause you a lot of headaches. So that would be the route I would go at this point. So I guess moving on to the number 3 slot. Looking at the Ravens. The Ravens finished the season ranked 16th in offense and 31st in defense. So it's kind of a trend between these the Bills and the Ravens at this point, finishing last in defense.
The Ravens is a very unique case here for me. I actually had the pleasure of playing the Ravens, who normally is a very good user at an off season. Kind of an asterisk to those rankings, in my opinion, because he only played a few games, a few friendlies prior to the start of the Dynasty season. So he really didn't get a gist. We probably hear or know more about his team than he does. I'm just hoping that he finds another receiver other than Perriman from Flacco, who's getting up there in age, and also Steve Smith is up there in age. So really, his receiver core is pretty slim. Pretty nice defense, and again, you can never go wrong with getting some offensive line help, but definitely need some playmakers other than Perriman, because it's easy to just pinpoint him, and 9 times out of 10 it's going to go to him.
Right. I agree. I was going to say the same thing. I think he definitely needs some more quality receivers. The injury bug that goes around has yet to probably hit the Ravens as hard as it hit some of us this season. He needs to address that and then tighten up that defense a little bit more, and he'll be all right.
Yeah, for me, I was torn on this one. I'm thinking he does need to work on the defense, but I just don't see a stud running back to help him, chew up a little bit of clock and help. Get that offense. I think if you get the running game going, you can get the passing game going. So I think that would help him out a little bit. Even though I know he needs defense. So kind of leaning more towards offense here, maybe looking at a halfback myself. But moving on to the number 4 pick, we have the Minnesota Vikings. Now this one's kind of strange because he finished 32nd in offense and first in defense. So what do you guys think?
The Vikings are young. Offense being 32nd definitely has to deal with Adrian Peterson. Getting hurt. I know when I played him, he was hurt. Defense, is young, fast, solid. Paul is doing his Mike Zimmer impersonation and got that defense rocking. Offensively, they don't, and you guys can agree with me. I hope you do. I don't see a number 1 wide receiver for them either for Bridgewater to throw to. They got Cordero Patterson, they got Stephon Diggs, but I don't see a number 1 there either.
Yeah. I agree too. Is Bridgewater going to stay healthy?
True.
In real life and on the game. And on the way injuries are happening on the game, that's a scary thought. To have to deal with possibility of losing Bridgewater every season. He reminds me of Priester for the Rams in 16.
Oh gosh,
yes. So he may not need to draft a quarterback per se. Maybe look for a good quality backup in free agency. But you just never know. But he definitely needs more wide receiver help.
I totally agree. That'd probably be the position I would go with here. And he kind of needs to learn how to hold on to the ball as well. He gave up 40 INTs this season, so I guess having that good wide receiver that can go up and get the ball for him might help him avoid some of those interceptions. But moving on to the next pick, the Seattle Seahawks. Which way he traded this pick with the Lions to move up. So he's pretty much coming into this with a stacked team, only getting richer. So what do you guys think here?
He's lucky.
Yeah, he's lucky. Playoff team, solid playoff team in the top 10. I played him. Definitely a great user. His team is definitely stacked. Kind of getting on the older side. I mean, he got rid of Richard Sherman, which was good. Save some cap space and can get younger on those outsides. I would just say again, he needs a number one wide receiver also. Curse, not a number one. Baldwin, not a number one. Lockett, definitely not a number one. Just speed. He has nobody that crunch time. He doesn't have that Julio Jones, DeAndre Hopkins type S player. I think that'll definitely help out Wilson with his legs, where if he gets outside the pocket, a number one will most likely get anything he throws up.
Yeah, definitely agree with that. Then he probably would also want to address, tight end. Jimmy Graham, again, older, injury prone. So tight end and a wide receiver definitely just send him even farther than he's already going.
Yeah, I agree too. Him drafting this high up in the draft, even though he made the playoffs. Here I'll probably try to go to wide receiver as well to try to shore up that offense. Defense is stout, so he finished number 7 in total defense. So yeah, I'll go wide receiver here. But okay, I guess we'll move on to the number 6 pick, the San Francisco 49ers. The 49ers finished 26th in offense, third in defense. But the one problem here, he gave up 24 sacks this season and gave the ball away 21 times, 21 INTs. So where do you guys go here?
Offensive line.
Offensive line. First offensive line. He gave us too many sacks. That's David Carr career type sacks given up. And he definitely, once he gets that offensive line, I would definitely. He has no quarterback. I don't want to say, but once you get the offensive line and you get the quarterback, and then you trickle down. Yeah. He was getting sacked because he had nobody blocking for him, and then the quarterback was just back there.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. He's definitely going to have to address that offensive line and then worry about a quarterback after he takes care of that, because there's no need to waste a good pick on a quarterback and you're not going to be able to take care of him. I mean, he gave up 13 fumbles. Yeah, it's just ridiculous. Yeah.
This is an obvious pick here. There's no discussion here. He needs to go offensive line, but I guess we'll see on Saturday. I guess we'll move on to the number 7 pick, the Chiefs. The Chiefs user will be out of the country, so CPU will be picking. And usually the CPU will pick, I guess, the best available. How it's been in the past. But for you guys, what do you think the Chiefs should go if he was in town to pick? He finished 18th in total offense and 21st in total defense.
They said in Madden 17 that the computer, and this, don't quote me, the computer picks for need now, or was that the end of 16? I know they said
17 is supposed to pick for need.
So me personally, I think they definitely don't have a number one receiver, because Macklin is a possession receiver, but he's more of a slot to me. Their defense is, Young, Peters, Gaines, Berry, they're young and getting it. But if they're playing slow ball, they're good. But if they go behind, if they fall behind, Alex Smith's arm is not strong enough to do anything other than dip and dunk. So I personally think they should get a strong arm, young quarterback, build him up. Because, everybody knows the first few years in Dynasty aren't the glamorous ones. You're building for the high stakes. So, I hope that, the computer does the right thing by him. I definitely think he needs a quarterback because ain't no coming back from down 21-0 with Alex Smith back there.
Very true.
Yeah, I totally have to agree with that. But I played against him this season, and his defense is solid. Solid defense. His offense is pretty good, but he could definitely use some help at the wide receiver core. And Alex Smith, he's 33. So even if he drafts a young quarterback and keeps Smith, just develop the young guy, just real life, get ready for the high stakes season. Get that young quarterback ready, get rid of Smith a year or two after, down the road, and keep it moving.
I totally agree with that. I don't have anything else to add on that one. So we'll go ahead and move on to the number 8 pick coming in at the San Diego Chargers. This was very interesting. He started kind of slow at the beginning of the season when he came back, but he ended up finishing 3rd in overall offense and 20th in defense. So what do you guys think here?
The Chargers was pretty scary because, the Chargers team, you just kind of think that they're not going to be that good. But Joe actually is doing a lot with them, with what he has. And offensively, it was amazing that his passing game, Keenan Allen is his number one. I think he still needs to get a little bit more balanced. Maybe get a solid running back, number one running back, because Woodhead and Gordon, I don't think that's going to get him where he wants to go. So I'd probably look at running back starting off.
Okay.
I definitely, I'm on the fence with the Chargers because, like you said, it's basically Rivers 4 or 5-step drop, throw it, Keenan Allen goes and gets it. Tight end, Gates is old, Rivers is old at quarterback. His offensive line, gave up 28 sacks, middle of the road, threw 35 interceptions. So Keenan Allen needs help. Gates is not going to be there, so I'll definitely think again. He should draft, first, if there's a good quarterback out there, possibly wide receiver if need be. But, his defense, he has a number 1 cornerback in Barrett. Maybe he can get another cornerback on the other side just to shore that up. But because his defense was 20th. But offensively, he has aging superstars, so he's going to have to address that sooner or later.
I'm thinking he should probably head maybe a tight end. Try to shore that up, or like quarterback. This draft, so you start getting them in and start getting some development traits and all that good stuff, getting that XP. So it's better to get them while you're young. Start doing it now. So that's probably where I would go at either one of those positions, the quarterback or the tight end position. But I guess we'll move on to the number 9 spot. The Indianapolis Colts. They came in 11th in total offense and 28th in total defense. He gave up 28 sacks and 28 INTs this season.
I know them personally as I had them in another league. They need all defense. They are a very old and slow team, so I'm very surprised. Not surprised because Big Bush, he has very good user skills. But the defense is the middle linebackers are old with Jackson and Moore. Vontae Davis is older. He's like 28, 29. He's their best option at corner. They do have the young stud in TJ Green, who's going to be a monster if developed correctly. But they got old Mike Adams, and then the other corner is just out there. He's just the guy over there. Tight ends are slow. They lost Fleener. So I mean, I would just start with defense, and his old line is just, oh man. Yeah, I mean, really, truly, he can't really go wrong. I at this point just best available for him. That's just me, because there's just so many spots that he needs to fill.
Yeah, definitely. Just I didn't get the playing this season, but just listening to you talk about that and looking at stats and everything, wherever he wants to start, basically, is going to be all right. He can't go wrong.
I guess my input, just knowing how he likes to play from 16, he likes to run that spread offense. So coming in, he may be looking for that number 1 or number 2 wide receiver to help him out, so he can spread people out. So that might be. It looks like he's not going to be able to stop anyone on defense, so he's going to need to put up a lot of points at this point. So.
And just real quick off of that, because he has Dorsett, Moncrief, T.Y. Hilton, Quan Bray, like he has some speedsters. They short.
Yeah,
but if they get behind a defense, that's a problem. So, like you said, if you can get a good tight end to fit, because he used Fleener very heavily in 16, and Allen, he's no Fleener.
Yeah, that's right. Very true. Okay. I guess we'll move on to the number 10 slot. The number 10 slot, we had the Atlanta Falcons, the Dirty Birds rise up. So give me your opinion on where you think I should go this draft.
Well, I mean, just Tevin Coleman, Freeman, Julio, Matt Ryan. Just by the way, I know you like to play defense. You definitely need a cornerback to be on the other side of Trufant. Once you get that, then you work with your slot receivers. And then if you can get a quarterback. I remember how you got Cordero O'Brien in 16. You got at least another, 2-3 serviceable years out of Matt Ryan before, you want to pull your hair out. But definitely defense. Your linebacker core is extremely young, fast, gifted. So basically, I think cornerback. Get that number 2 cornerback, and then trickle down to 3 and 4, and then, everything else will just fall into place like it has in the past.
Well, since I have to face you twice a season, and I have yet to get a win on you since I've been in the Dynasty, I think your first round pick, you should go kicker. Second round, you need to go punter. Get those 2 positions tied up, and then you move on. But no, seriously. But just the way you had built up the Falcons in 16, definitely get that second cornerback. Because your corners were just straight monsters in 16. They wouldn't let the receivers off the line, and that right there, allowed your D-line to get so much pressure because the receivers couldn't get out into the routes quick enough. And just start on your defense, because that definitely wins championships, and you showed it. Corner.
Yeah, I definitely missed that this season. Being able to get pressure of covering everybody in the secondary. So I missed that 16 team, I'll tell you that.
Dion, what is because Alford is like 93 speed. I mean, if he is if he's young enough to develop, you might have a number 2 already waiting.
Well, he likes to let people get wide open, man. So
he likes to stand there and just look at him. So his time might be running short in Atlanta here. So we shall see. But But I guess we'll move on to the number 11 pick, the Panthers.
What do you guys
think here?
I didn't actually play the Panthers this year, so I don't. I mean, just from real life and looking at a few stats from games finished. You got Calvin Benjamin, you got Ted Ginn. If anything, his linebacking core is getting older, and they've sorely missed Josh Norman. So it wouldn't hurt if the Bills allows any cornerbacks to be left in the draft to grab a cornerback. And maybe, grab some backup linebackers. Offensive line is pretty solid. So, I mean, that's just me. I think like corners and linebackers because Kuechly and Davis are definitely getting older.
Yeah, I think he needs to go defense too. Definitely corner probably. Seeing how I have to face him twice a season. Again, I think he might need to go punter really and get that tied in. But just from playing him, definitely I'll go with corner.
Yeah,
I have to agree. They're solely missing Josh Norman. He's kind of not able to do what he did in the past because people are really burning him in the secondary. So if he can get a good corner at this position, it'll be a good day for him to help him to start turning around that defense. But we can move on to the Bears at number 12. What do you guys think here?
Well, they just traded away Kevin White, so the rumor mill is saying. So that's 93 speed, 90 some odd jumping. Everybody, their mom, grandmom, great grandmom know the Bears need to go quarterback, and then. Just go quarterback because Tucker is just an accident waiting to happen. I know they may have other needs that they may think they need, but man, if you can't get the ball to nobody, that is pointless. Because I say quarterback.
Yeah, quarterback. Nothing else needs to be looked at. Just quarterback. Get that tied up.
Yeah, I agree. He's just in a bad spot at the number 12 spot because I'm thinking like all the good quality quarterbacks. By the time we get to him, probably be all gone. So at that point, he'll probably go best need on defense, in my opinion. And he'll probably have to look at a corner or maybe even a middle linebacker because he likes to sit on that middle linebacker and use it a lot. So I think he'll want a little bit of speed here. So I guess we can go on to the number 13, the Bengals. What do you guys think here?
I played the Bengals. Besides Bernard and just AJ Green being a freak of nature, they have no speed. It's just they just have no speed. At the corner, Pac-Man's old. Kirkpatrick, I don't know. He's just out there. And other than AJ Green, I mean, they got Tyler Eifert. He's a great compliment. But just overall, they just don't have speed on defense or really on offense. So I mean, I guess I would say speed at some position.
Well, in real life, the Bengals are my favorite team. So, I love them. Didn't get a chance to play them this season in the Dynasty. But knowing the team, they have to look at corner because Pac-Man is old. Kirkpatrick, I'm not sure how, they have him rated, how he plays this season on the game. You definitely got to look at corner on defense. Definitely need some more speed all over the field. I don't know. I'd probably go defense first. Either corner, maybe linebacker, maybe even a new safety. Some speed somewhere.
Yeah, I have
to agree.
I really don't have anything else to add to that. I know he has a lot of work up there, just trying to get that team back to being competitive. So yeah, I guess at this position he needs to go probably best on the board at that point, just to help the team build from that point on. But I guess we can move on to the number 14 slot, and we're looking at the Buffalo Bills again. So at this slot, what do you think he should do here?
What he should do or what he will do? At this point, let's see. We all can probably agree that he's probably going to go quarterback with that first pick. If he does, he's going to go corner with this pick. If there's some decent corners, but what he should do, especially if he goes quarterback with that first pick, then he needs to look at offensive line. You got to protect him. Got to protect your new investment. So you might want to look at offensive line and try to get that all fixed up and get some youth and some skill there. So.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. In this slot, I'll be looking at offensive line as well, just to help out. Because he is coming with that 30th ranked offense. Maybe he needs to go defense here as well too, because he does have that 30th ranked defense in the league. So I know he gave him Gilmore, so he's looking for a corner. But maybe he needs to be able to put a little pressure in the middle with a middle linebacker. That would be probably where I'm looking at this point, just trying to shore up my defense. That's probably where I head, looking for a middle linebacker at this position.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm still going to just, I agree with all that. I still think he needs to get a receiver also. I doubt there'll be any good cornerbacks to his liking. He's looking this year for the 6'3", 6'4", 92 speed that he, is hoping for from like other leagues. But at number 12, like mid first round, you're not going to get that. Those will be gone. Yeah. But we'll see. It's always fun when the Bills is drafted.
Okay. I guess we'll move on to the number 15 and last pick that we'll cover in the inaugural episode of the franchise, and we have the Rams here. Now I guess I can start this off having the Rams in another league. And issue with the Rams defense is awesome. That front seven is just tremendous. But the problem is don't have a wide receiver. Don't have a number one wide receiver. And that causes me a lot of games because I don't have that guy that can go get the ball. So maybe that's the position that he should be keying in. If they're there this time, I don't know. But if I was him, that's what I would be looking for in this draft. What do you guys think?
I say, because like you said, the defense is awesome. And yes, he doesn't have a number one receiver. Tavon Austin, I was looking at his stats, 83 route running, mid to low 80s catch. I mean, granted, 95 speed, 94 acceleration, but that's on streaks. A good user is just going to, put somebody over the top, and then that's out of the play. Got the monster Gurley. Is Goff ever going to play? Wasted a pick on him. I really think that, like Dion mentioned earlier, I think he should use some of those stud defensive players as bait and see if he can go out and get a monster wide receiver. I mean, some of those positions are expendable. Not Aaron Donald, of course, but other positions on the defense that you can replace with a young stud, and see if you can get back one or two picks, because users in our league they'll pay handsomely for the overall and the big name. So he might mess around and get 1, 2, 3 picks for one of the defensive players, depending on how bad somebody wants them. So we'll see how he plays it.
That's very true. One thing that I think applies to everyone in the league that we have to remember is these injuries, how they've hit us this season, is going to be depth at every position. So you might not necessarily have an all-star at a position, but you just want to have at least a solid number one at the position, and then some quality behind them. So he definitely needs wide receivers. So he needs, if possible, a strong number one receiver. But if not, at least a quality 2 or 3 guy, and until he can find that number one.
I totally agree. I think a lot of teams, a lot of youth gonna learn about depth over coming seasons. Even in real life, the Falcons linebacker core decimated. They started safeties and linebacker went to Denver this weekend. Came out somehow with a win, but worked out for them. But that's key in having depth, players that can play multiple positions. So. If he wants to send Donald to Atlanta, trust me, I'm more than willing to pay him for it.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Send him to New Orleans.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I got my man Fletcher Cox that eventually, once he slow down, become a defensive tackle, and I ain't trying to take on Donald's contract. But he is a monster, though. I'll tell you that.
Yes, he is. Like I said, I have him in the other league. I just let him do what he does. I play that middle linebacker, and he gets there almost every time. So I appreciate it for it. So, but I really appreciate it, man. It was a good show for the inaugural show of the franchise. I hope the league enjoys it, and we'll be bringing this to you every season before the draft, just to give you our opinion on what we think each team needs and the positions that they really should be targeting instead of the wants. You guys got anything to say before we close out the show?
I just say. The Panthers, the Falcons, the Bucks, go for that kicker. Well, the Bucks already did that. So, Dion, C-Rod, y'all need to go on and get them kickers taken care of first round.
And just continue listening to the broadcast that we have the Dynasty. Go like our Facebook page. Go follow us on Twitter at the Dynasty CFM. The Dynasty CFM, and tune into upcoming Super Bowls from the Dynasty and the Blueprint.
All right, man. I want to thank you guys again for tuning in, and we're signing out.
Peace.
Out.